Don't worry. Hi guys, this is Meri, and she's my day one. She's been my best friend since I've moved here, and I love her so much. Mwah.
Since ninth grade,
Since ninth
four
grade,
years.
4 years. Okay, yeah, we're gonna jump right into it. So today's video is for science, and Meri
hmm
here, she's a professional at chemistry. She loves chemistry, and she's amazing at it. Meri, do you want to introduce yourself?
Okay, so hi, I'm Mary. I'm currently in 12th grade. I'm Priscilla's classmate. And yeah, I'm going to give you guys tips on science because I know like how much of a pain that subject is to some of you. So I'm just going to try to explain it like really simply so you guys can like kind of follow these tips. Guys, like before I say anything, science is so easy to score in 10th grade. I am not even kidding. It's so easy. Even if you start now, I can guarantee you a 90 plus, okay? It's not the same as 12th grade. 12th grade you have to do it from the start. But 10th, oh my god, it's so unbelievably easy. I'm telling you that. Just to give you guys like a bit of a confidence boost.
Yeah, you might get a bit scared, but the paper's really not going to be that bad. And Mary is
Yeah.
actually, she takes business in 12th, so if you have any questions about that, you can definitely ask her. But yeah, that's for later. We'll start with chemistry. Mary, how did you prepare for Chem?
Okay. First of all, before I say anything, I can guarantee you I did not lose any marks in chem. So what I did, I I read the NCRT and like I understood it fully. Okay, I just didn't read it for the sake of it. I kind of had to dissect the information. Okay, so for example, in carbon and its compounds, I think that's the most important chemistry chapter.
Mhm.
I didn't just read it like passively. You guys have to like do active recall. So basically, what active recall is, you read something and you kind of write it from memory or you recall it from memory. Because if you just sit down and like just read the textbook, nothing's going to enter your brain. So what you have to do is you kind of have to test yourself. So most important part of chemistry is that it involves both like memory and it involves both practicing. Okay, you can't just do one or the other. You have to memorize and you have to practice questions. And I believe that this is more of a competency based, it's more of an understanding thing. So it's not going to work if you just try to memorize all of the structures. You kind of have to know what to do, like the basic steps. It's kind of like maths. You can't just memorize maths, right? You have to understand and apply your knowledge to that. So chem is kind of similar to math in that way. And yeah, basically that's the most general guideline I can give you for the whole four chapters of chem. I believe there's four chapters, right? I don't
Yeah.
remember. I think there's four chapters,
It's
yeah.
four
So
chapters.
there's four chapters for chem, and yeah, I think it was out of 25 or 25 marks.
Yeah, 25, 25, and 20. No.
30 was bio, I think.
Yeah, 25, 25, 30.
Yeah, so it's unbelievably easy. What I did like 4 days before the chem exam, okay, I read the textbook. If you guys have like a question bank or anything, you can do that. But I think you should focus on NCRT Exemplar and
Mm-hmm.
the competency-based questions that CBSE released. Because I don't know how maths went for y'all. I
They
think
said
it
it was
went,
not
was
that
it
nice.
bad?
They said it was lengthy. More than
It was
difficult.
lengthy, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they added a lot of, you kind of had to think critically rather than just like straightforward questions. So I suspect that the science paper will also be like that. You kind
Mhm.
of have to know the thing and you kind of have to apply it. It's more applied knowledge rather than straightforward questions. If I were to predict something that would come in the science exam, but chem is the most, like, I think I'd say school. I think I'm biased, but I'd say chem is the most scoring out of the three.
I
But
agree.
I think I'm biased though.
No, but I agree with you. I think chem is chem, then physics, then last bio. Bio you have,
Bio, yeah,
I
you
think,
kind of bio just
yeah.
we'll come to
Okay.
that.
And okay, what about nomenclature? If you can't understand that, what do you suggest?
Okay. So for nomenclature, I suggest Khan Academy videos, guys, and organic chemistry tutor. Oh my god, I relied on them for like 11th grade, but for 10th it's helpful.
Mhm.
You read the text. If you don't understand the textbook, I suggest go to any like one short explanation,
Mhm.
but like a short video. Kind of try to compress the knowledge, and then if they give practice questions at the end for the nomenclature, try to do that and see where you're messing up, because I think nomenclature is more about rules. You
Mhm.
kind of have to know the rules, and then you can name any compound. You can't just memorize the name of a compound and then expect to do it. You kind of have to know the rules.
Mhm.
So just do as many nomenclature questions as possible. It's quite simple once you get the hang of it, but you can't get it in like 1 or 2 days. You kind of have to practice. I think it took me. I'm a really slow learner, by the way. So I think it took me like 3, 4 days to kind of understand in 10th grade. Oh, what is this? Like, I didn't know what was going on. Okay. So just trust me while saying that it'll take time. But the way it works is that you have to practice a lot. Just saying that
Mhm.
practice, just keep practicing, do the in text, in the textbook, and then do the back questions, and then NCRT exemplar, and then competency. I don't know if there's additional questions also, but if you have time, do that as well.
Okay, I agree with that completely for chem. Is that everything for chem?
I think so, because like, okay, also those case study questions, I think
Yeah.
practice them. It was like an organic compound has like 6 carbons, 7 oxygen or something. I remember there was a question like that. Try to practice
Oh,
that as well, because do you remember that, right? Because it
that's
was
the
like
reaction one, right?
esterification.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, you know, those four reactions that we had in like carbonates compounds, it was like addition reaction, substitution, elimination. Remember that, but then also learn why it's happening. Like
Yeah.
I completely, and then I think in the first chapter there was like four types of reaction. There's combination, displacement. I don't know why I remember this still, double displacement. Yeah. So just learn the technique. I'm just telling you guys, if you know the technique, you can solve any question. But the way you have to do that, you have to prioritize understanding and active recall. Oh, and also I suggest the Feynman technique. It's basically you pretend that you're teaching someone else. Um, Suppose I'm trying to teach a concept in chemistry, just explain that concept like a teacher to someone else. Like, or if you don't have anybody, just like explain it to your like stuffed toy or something. Anything, honestly. Just suppose you're reading a concept on molarity or some chemistry concept. You explain that in very simple terms, because like if you don't understand it well enough, you will kind of mess up and you will say stuff that's too technical. You kind of want to dumb it down to make the other person like understand what you're saying. So use the but the most important I'd say is active recall, Feynman, and practice questions. I cannot emphasize practice questions
Mhm. I
more.
completely agree with that. And on that note, the reactions, you won't ask anything beyond the textbook. So
Yeah,
if
I
you want to
agree.
mug something up, stick to the textbook. Don't go for other reactions.
Especially in 10th. Don't go be anything beyond NCRT.
Yeah, don't. Next, bio.
Come. Okay.
Okay.
So, Priscilla, let me ask you a question. How did you feel about bio in 10th grade?
Bio in 10th grade, learning it was fine, but I think when it came to exams, there are lots of places that you lose marks and you don't realize that you've lost them until you get your paper back because they just want
Hmm.
some specific keywords and you don't know what those keywords are. Like you might understand
Yeah.
the concept fully, but you don't know what the keyword that you need to use is.
Yeah, and our teacher for bio was quite strict in marking. Like she was like expecting keywords and also like I think keywords is really important. And
Mhm.
you kind of have to learn how to yap in bio.
You do.
Because if you just write one word answers, they're not going to accept that. You kind of have to learn how to explain your answers.
Yeah. How did you study, Mary?
It's pretty much the same thing for chem, but like I didn't practice as much for bio because I
Yeah.
feel like my memory is like okay, I can read it once and I can kind of get in my mind, but I just kept reading it. I think the most important chapter was like heredity and evolution. Oh, that chapter I practiced a lot because there was like the Punnett square thing. I didn't understand it. It was like genetics.
Oh.
Yeah, so I went to like Byju's or something, and I went to that video. I understand how to do it, and I was like, "Oh, this is so fun!" Like I actually started appreciating biology. Like, oh, the hereditary and the Punnett square, and I was like, "Oh my god, yeah, dominant recessive." Just if you don't understand a concept, go to a video. They'll explain it, but like preferably not like a 3, 4 hour long video. You can't waste that much time.
Stick to
It's
one
more
hour.
important that you do the work. Yeah, 1 hour is fine. Just like make sure you understand the concept and then practice questions. But I'd say bio, it's like the same way you study like social science or any theory subject. You keep reading the textbook, and if you're a writing person, like make your own handwritten notes. But
Mhm.
don't just copy from the textbook. Like read the textbook and write it. That's what I always do.
Mhm.
I think Priscilla, you don't have to like you have a like different style of learning, right? It depends on your style of learning as well.
Yeah. What kind of a learner are you? I remember we had this conversation, but I can't remember exactly what you said either.
Like I'm more visual and the hands-on kind of person.
Right. Okay. So I'm a
Kinesthetic.
yeah, kinesthetic?
I
Yeah,
don't know,
something. Yeah.
something hands-on.
I'm a more visual learner, so I like to look at diagrams and stuff and then I understand better.
Mhm.
Bio, learn your diagrams.
Make flowcharts in bio and diagrams.
Learn your diagrams, learn your flowcharts. If you can, Add all your points to a flowchart or explain all your points with a diagram. Teachers love that. They see the diagram and they just give you the marks. So try to mug up the diagrams. You don't have that many, so mug up the diagrams. And if you can explain concepts to the flowchart, that's better. That's so much amazing, so much more amazing. If you want to understand what the keywords are, go to the marking scheme of past year questions. I wouldn't recommend doing the paper fully, but rather when you're doing the paper, try to only mention the keywords and then match those keywords with the marking scheme. Then you'll get an idea of what the teachers actually want you to write.
Yeah, I agree. Also, if you haven't like studied anything, I just suggest go to like any PYQ, look at the answers, see how they solved it. Like go to like any topper's answer sheet, see how they write explanations. That's very helpful because if you don't know anything about a chapter, I just say go to the NCRT solution, see how they paraphrase. Like you kind of have to know how to do that in bio as well.
I
So
agree.
yeah.
And bio, try to do the NCRT exemplar because they do tend to ask a lot of questions from it. Uh, maths is
Mhm.
overkill. Maths was overkill, but for science, definitely do the exemplar. They ask questions
Yeah.
from. I remember they copy pasted a lot of questions, especially for physics from.
Yeah. Physics, oh my god, I was so happy while seeing the physics questions. It was exactly what I
Yeah.
learned.
Uh, it was a
Crazy.
good paper. I like the paper. Um,
Mm.
anything else for bio? Bio, don't worry. 11th is way worse than 10th.
Trauma bro for me. No, but 10 bio was really fun, I'd say. This oh bro, they have the diversity in living organisms chapter. We didn't have that,
We
but
didn't
they
have
have
that
it.
there. Oh,
Yeah, so they have it. So in 11th, there was a chapter about diversity, and it would be really helpful if I actually had that knowledge before. So you guys, if you guys are planning to take bio, it would be helpful that you had that knowledge. I don't know about that chapter, but it was apparently really long.
oh,
And yeah, it was a really lengthy chapter. But don't worry about it. As long as you just know something, just yeah, literally same technique you'd use for SSC, do it for bio.
yeah, honestly. Yeah, bio is a very memory heavy chapter, but a memory heavy subject, but it's manageable. Try to do the
Mhm.
exemplar. Physics, if you struggle with physics, uh, there are things that you can do last minute to really improve it. Mary, what are your ideas?
I'd say let's ask Priscilla because she's the one who's like amazing at physics. So
It's not on
Priscilla, Priscilla, what did you do in 10th?
in
I'm
10th.
diverting the question back to you.
Oh, well, thank you. 10th. Okay. I think I did past year questions, but I didn't do it
Mm,
from a past year paper. I did it like chapter wise. So first chapter
mm,
past questions. Um, for 10th physics, you really got to understand what's happening. And then once you understand what the chapter is about as a whole, it's way easier to actually solve the numericals. But do practice solving numericals because they tend to repeat the past questions very often and they tend to repeat the exemplar questions, especially when it
mm.
comes to MCQs. So,
Yeah,
exemplar, I wouldn't suggest going and doing this 2 markers and 3 markers, but definitely do the MCQs for all the chapters. Once you have an idea of past questions and the exemplar, you should be set for physics. If you want to understand the
yeah,
theory behind the chapter, one shots like for bio and chemistry. But yeah, right now that's the only thing you can do. If you had a bit more time, it would have been best if you watched the one shot before the teacher taught it in class, so you'd have a better idea what's happening in class.
timing.
And then after that, yeah, and then after that, you can do questions to back up your knowledge. Many
Yeah.
any additional
No,
suggestions?
I No, like your points is completely valid, and I'd say that for physics, I think you have to prioritize question practice over just memory
Not
and
enough, yeah.
concept clarity. You have to do a lot of questions. Like the same for math, you do questions. You don't really read the textbook for math, right? I think you just kind of have to go into it for physics. But the conceptual understanding is also important. It's like both hand in hand. Conceptual understanding has to be accompanied with question practice. Same vice versa. So I'd say physics, honestly, the difficulty of physics was, I think, chem was harder than physics in 10th grade,
I
honestly.
agree. Physics in 10th was really nice. It's nothing
It
like
was
math.
pretty easy. Uh,
Everything
let's
gets
not scare them.
everything gets 10 times worse at 11. Not 10, like 20 times worse.
Rotational motion.
Oh, rotational motion. Yeah, for physics in 10th, you have ray optics, right? I don't think it's called ray optics then. What is it called then?
Light, I think.
Light. Yeah, you have
It was
light.
called light.
Yeah, it's just like so you have light. The it's I think it's very it has a very high weightage. So the best thing that you can do for light is understand the different diagrams. So when you have your mirror and you're placing the object at different positions, the image formation for that, that's very important. That's kind of the basis of answering every single question. And also sign convention. Make sure you know your sign convention, because if you mess that up, it's very easy to get the answer wrong. If you know your sign convention, if you know your image diagram formation stuff, you'll be fine for the optics.
Hmm. I think there's one more tip I like to give. This is for all of the three subjects, by the way. Paper presentation. You can know all the answers in the world, but if you don't have proper paper presentation, you're okay. See, first of all, let me tell you something. The exam.
Something.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. The examiner has a lot of copies to check in a day. There's gonna take, I think, 8 minutes per copy, right? The examiner's not gonna read every single sentence of yours. So I'd say yapping is important, but yap in a more condensed manner, if that makes sense. Write bullet points,
Mhm.
write draw flowcharts, draw diagrams, make it super neat. Okay, be a try hard in science and tech. It's really gonna help. It's actually really gonna help. They're going to take maximum 8 minutes on your paper, right? So make that 8 minutes of that examiner's time worth it. Draw lines after every question, and then try
Under
to
words.
yeah. And I don't know, I've never really done like papers in a backwards way. I've always done it in a section A, section B, section C, section D.
It's always
But
better.
if yeah, no, I don't know if it's allowed. I don't to do it
It
from
is.
section E.
Yeah,
It
it is
is.
allowed, but it's better to do from section E.
Yeah, but the thing is, like from my personal experience, I get scared because I'm scared if I miss a question from like
Mm.
any section, right?
Yeah.
And like the MCQs also if they take time. So that's why I just do it section A, section B, section C. But whatever section you start with, make sure you don't miss any questions. Properly label the question number, draw lines, make diagrams, flowchart, paper presentation, and like your handwriting should be legible. Okay, it can't be just like like the first 10 minutes of the exam is like super neat handwriting, last 10 minutes is just chicken scratch, right? So I'd say just keep it not super neat, but just legible. Make sure that the examiner knows what you're trying to read.
Mary has amazing handwriting. You should really see it. It's very
I was
newspaper.
a try hard in 10th, bro.
Yeah.
That's
It's okay though. But I agree with the bullet point especially because it's not an English paper. They don't want to see you writing huge paragraphs. For
yeah,
all biochemistry, physics, everything, bullet points is the best. So the teachers can actually tick off the bullet points. Yeah, I think that's about it.
that's about it. Oh yeah, guys, how was your English exam? It was today, right? Was it today or yesterday?
Ah, it's
Today.
June 21st. Yeah. Okay.
Apparently it was
Tell us
easy.
how it was in the comments.
Yes. And give us tips on how to improve.
That's so dear. Well, we hope you guys do amazing. Tell us how it goes. We want to hear. Best of luck
Yeah. What's last minute tips you'd give?
for them for science.
Yeah, for
I think these
science.
are about it. Do the exemplar. Do understand the marking scheme of the past year questions. Try to do some past year questions.
Mhm.
Presentation.
Yeah, and sample paper, I guess, because that's like
Oh
more in
yeah.
tune to
Sample paper. Yeah.
competency. That's it.
Okay, guys. Say bye bye to Mary. Bye bye, Mary.
Bye, guys. I hope you do well. You guys are going to score well for sure. Cut that out. You guys are going to score so super, super good. I believe in each and every one of you. Even if you start now, you still have time. I guarantee you. Just listen to all of these tips and just make sure you do as much questions as possible and make sure your paper